Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Redhead Boo here, back with a new video. So I am carrying on with my Disneyland Paris related videos for Disney Week, which has literally been going on for months now. And since I did a very popular video when I got back from my last trip last year, I thought I'd repeat the type of video that I'm doing today, because on my trip I did loads of rides, I did loads of shows, I watched the parades, and of course, it being me, I met lots and lots and lots of characters. And to be exact, I think I worked out that I met over 30, so yeah. Now this video is going to be my top 10 Disney character meets from this trip. It has been so hard trying to work out which ones will go in which position, but for me I do think it was also quite easy because there were some meets that hands down had to be where they were, and sadly some didn't make the list. Not because they were bad meets, because there were just more ones that had special memories to me and stuff happened that I didn't expect to happen. So yeah, I just really hope you all enjoy this video. So I am going to do it in the style of a vlog again, where I'll chat about which one was at which position, why it made the position it did, and then I'll include 2 or 3 photos maybe from that specific meet and greet. So let's get started. So in at number 10, we have a meet and greet which was sort of planned, but also sort of not planned. And it is with Black Panther. So I know that in the Studios park, you can either try and book to meet Spider-Man, or you can book to meet a random hero in the Hero Training Centre, and I think it's called a Heroic Encounter, the one that we booked. We were trying to get Spider-Man because myself and Jade, we love Spider-Man, and I have met Spider-Man before, but it just kept on as soon as the time came up, they just sold out for all the positions for that time. And then I saw that the Heroic Encounter one was available to book. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try, because you never know. And I literally booked onto it, joined the virtual queue, and it was super, super easy. It didn't take long at all. And it gave me a wait time of 25 minutes, which wasn't actually that bad, because in that time we went in some shops, and I also I took part in the Doctor Strange workshop to learn his skills, which was also a great conversation to have with Black Panther. And then when it got to our turn, obviously you don't know who you're gonna meet, so it is a bit of a lucky dip. And I'd never met Black Panther before. I have met I've seen Black Widow, I've met Captain Marvel and Spider-Man, so I was like, okay, I quite like someone different. And literally when you walk in, you get taken behind this automatic door, and the door opened, and then you look around the screen and you can sort of see who it is. And I just saw Black Panther and I was like, ooh, okay, that's someone I've not met before. And honestly, it was such a fun meet and greet. He taught us some incredible moves. I showed him the moves that I'd learned from Doctor Strange, yeah, that's it. And he said that he was going to help me because he saw potential, but I said how I wasn't very good at defeating the spider bots on the Spider-Man attraction. So he was like, well, I'll be able to help you by teaching you some moves that you can learn and then use. And the photos that we got and the little 360 video, which I thought was really cool, was incredible. So I'm definitely going to insert them here. Okay, so in at number 9, if you can't tell from the ears that I'm wearing, my Winnie the Pooh themed ears, the next character, well, I say character, it was characters that I met which were in one of the best positions, was Piglet and Rabbit. So this day I believe was on day 1 in the parks, and we had already met quite a few characters, and we were going towards the studios park to go and like do a few rides in that park and then go watch together. And them characters were on my list to meet for a very long time, like after the last trip, and I saw that people met them and had a good time, so I was like, you know what, if I see them, I am going to meet them. And we were literally heading out towards studios, and I saw that there was characters in the distance, and I was like, who is it? And it, lo and behold, it was Piglet and Rabbit. And I was just like, oh my god. And I saw that they sort of had a long line, but it wasn't like super long. So I said to Jade, please can we go and meet them? And honestly, they were so cute. We got such a long time with both of them, and they weren't very impressed with me because I didn't have anything like Winnie the Pooh related on at the time. And because the day after was the day we had planned to meet Winnie in Extra Magic Hours, I did say that I was going to be wearing my Winnie the Pooh themed ears. So they sort of forgave me for that. And then the Up music started playing. I think when Piglet was signing either my autograph book or Jade's, and I said how we could float up in a little house together, and then pointed to the helium balloons which were outside a shop, and they said we could use them and then we can float up in a house together. And it was just a really cute interaction. And what I loved most about this interaction, I wish I would have got the cast member's name because they were so good. And the cast member was like so enthusiastic. He took so many photos, and he was English, so bonus for me. And then he started asking Piglet and Rabbit who their favourite Avenger was, because Jade had her Marvel ears on, and I just thought it was really cute. So I am going to insert some photos of that meet here. In at number 8, we have one of my all-time favourite characters to meet in any like Disney park, Disney cruise. And if you've been a fan of this channel for a long time, or we've been watching it for a long time, you will know that the very first Disney character I ever met in 2017 was Goofy. And he has always been such a fun character to me. Whenever I see him, I always end up laughing my head off. And I met him quite a few times on this trip. Like, I met him as Cowboy Goofy outside Cowboy Cookout. We had a little dance together. Me, Jade and Emma met him at Newport Bay, which was adorable and full of laughs. Like, he's just amazing. But for me, there is something about Goofy at Plaza Gardens and like any character dining experience. Goofy just seems to go for it in any circumstance. And literally, I don't know what it is, but he literally ran at me and gave me like the biggest hug ever. Like, I always have such a good hug off Goofy. And I was just like, hello Goofy. And I showed him that he was on my bag and that He was on my top as well and my lanyard, and he was just so cute, and I got some incredible photos with him. And I just had such a good time. Like, whenever I meet Goofy, I just end up smiling my head off. And I think he will always be such a special character to me, because obviously he's the first one I met. So he'll always have a special place in my heart. And I am going to be bounding as the cruise version of Goofy on the Disney Fantasy. So you will have to check out that vlog to see what happens. But yeah, like, I can't wait to bound as him, and hopefully one day I'll bound as him in Disneyland Paris. So yeah, enjoy the photos from meeting Goofy at Plaza Gardens Character Breakfast. Okay, so in at number 7, we have another character dining experience. Now, on this trip, I managed to book the character lunch at Royal Banquet inside the Disneyland Hotel. Now, I will say this, it was a very expensive meal. So for me, it was like the main dining experience of the whole trip. Like, the food was incredible. Everyone always said that, so I was expecting the best. And to be honest, I think we got the best food. The character interactions were amazing, and I know this character didn't make it into the list, but literally as soon as we sat down at our table and I'd taken my coat off, Mickey came straight over, and I was just like, oh my god, like, it was so good. And just to see all of the characters in their little royal gear was just simply adorable. And one of the characters, I don't think any of the others made the list, no, but for me, one of the characters who really stood out because she was just absolutely adorable was Minnie Mouse. And honestly, I had the best time with Minnie. Her outfit was stunning, like her little crown, her dress, everything about her. I was just like, oh Minnie, you look adorable. And she did like a little twirl for us. She was just the cutest little girl ever. And so basically, I know I haven't filmed this video yet, so this is sort of a spoiler, but one of the things on my bucket list was to vlog with a character, and I hadn't done it yet. And this was like our last full day in the parks, and I was like, who could I do it with? And I remember I was with Minnie, and I said to my friend, should I just do it with Minnie so that the whole world can see her outfit? And I did, and honestly, it was so cute, and I absolutely loved vlogging with Minnie. So I just think because of that memory and because of that clip in the vlog and everything, that she had to make this list and that position on this list. So Minnie, love you. And here are some photos of me and Minnie that I'm going to include. Enjoy. Okay, so in at number 6, we have my girl, Daisy Duck. Now, everyone I speak to loves Minnie, but for me, I know how I've just spoke about Minnie, so sorry Minnie, but for me, Daisy Duck is just my favourite. She's absolutely incredible. I have never had a bad meet and greet or a bad interaction with her. And on this trip, I actually bounded as Daisy Duck, and I did meet her in Royal Banquet. And then I said to my friend Jade, because we were sort of a bit cold, so I was like, why don't we go to Newport Bay and queue before the character turns up and then meet the character at the hotel? And when we were queuing up, I heard one of the staff members say, we'll open the window and then when she comes, we'll close it. And I was like, so that means it's either Minnie or Daisy. And obviously, because I was dressed as Daisy, I was sort of hoping it would be Daisy. And lo and behold, who turned up at 7:30 on the dot but Daisy? And I always said if there was any character that I could meet in Newport, because of her outfit and like the accessories that she had, then I'd love it to be her. And it was. And she was just everything. Like, I know that the meeting with her in Royal Banquet was incredible, but there was something about her at Newport Bay that I just fell in love with. Like, she was so cute. Her outfit was stunning, like simply stunning. Like, she kept on saying how my outfit was amazing, but I was like, but Daisy, look at you, like you look amazing. And yeah, like if you ever want to big Daisy up, do it, because she loves it. She does. And I had the best time with her at Newport Bay, and she's the best character to get like the best interactions off. I never have a bad time with Daisy, like I said. And yeah, she's just super cute. And if you've seen my vlog, because I did ask Jade to film a bit of me meeting her, then you will see just how happy I was that it was Daisy. So yeah, I am going to insert some photos of me and Daisy now. Okay, so we are now into the top 5. And I know after my trip in 2024, I had one of the best meet and greets ever with Winnie the Pooh. Did I think this meet would be topped? No. But when Jade bought me these ears for Christmas, I was sort of like, maybe I should take them to Disneyland Paris with me, because I am planning on meeting Winnie the Pooh. And I did meet Winnie on this trip, and if you have seen the clip from my vlog of this meet and greet, it was honestly one of the cutest little meet and greets I have ever had with Winnie, and hands down one of the most emotional, because like I was so excited to meet him, and because of these ears I thought he's gonna absolutely love me. And I literally ran towards him, gave him the biggest hug ever, and to the point where I think the Disney rule really did come into play. Because if you don't know, there is a rule in any Disney park or like Disney Cruise Line where when you are hugging the character, they can only let go of you when you let go of them. And I have experienced that with Mickey and Goofy, and on this trip I experienced that with Winnie the Pooh, because I got the biggest hug ever, like that I've ever had. He loved my ears so much. He even like did so many poses with me for my photographs, and honestly, like they are the cutest photos that I think I've ever had with Winnie. And honestly, I just adored him, and I will not ever forget the meet and greet that I had with him, because it was absolutely beautiful and so cute. So I am going to insert photos. I honestly do not know how I'm going to pick 2. So yeah, here we go. So in at number 4, we have one of my all-time favourite versions of meeting Mickey Mouse in Disneyland Paris. A lot of people say they prefer like Mickey in his building. However, one of my favourite meet and greets that I've ever had with Mickey, especially on this trip because of my outfit that I had planned for one of the days, was Phantom Mickey. Now, on this trip, I did actually meet him twice because one of the days his line wasn't long at all. And then the second, I think it was the second day, my outfit was just purely themed to Phantom Manor. And I was like, if there is any character that I have to meet dressed like this, it is Phantom Mickey. Unfortunately, on this day, there was no photo pass, but because I already had photo pass photos with Mickey, like, I wasn't too bothered. And when it got to my turn, I literally took off my coat, I took off my lanyard so that he could see my jumper and, of course, the ears. And boy, did it pay off, because honestly, the meat itself was the most adorable meat I think I've ever had in my life. So this meat for me, if I could have put it higher, then I probably should have done, but there were others in the list that just had to top it. But honestly, like, to match with Mickey and just be like scary, and just honestly, he was so cute. And I didn't realise at the time, but I didn't even have to ask the cast member to film, because they filmed me anyway. And I was like, oh my god. And the photos that I got, and especially the one where we did the hand heart, where I did half and he did half, and honestly, I did not want to leave that meet and greet, because it was hands down the most adorable meet I have ever had. And I literally went on Phantom Manor, came off and joined the queue to meet Mickey, because it was amazing. And if you don't know from this channel and my love for Disneyland Paris, you will not know how much Phantom Manor is like my all-time favourite attraction in the whole entire world. Like, I just love it. And meeting Mickey outside Phantom Manor after having a photo shoot inside and outside of Phantom Manor was everything that I could have wanted and more. So here are my favourite photos with my favourite little ghost host ever. Enjoy! So yes, we are now in the top three. Three. And I couldn't do a list of my favourite character meets and not include one with my number one, Donald. So actually in this top three, there will be two character meets, because I simply could not choose between two of the meets that I did. And one of these, the first one, was with Donald, but with Donald Duck in the Plaza Gardens character breakfast. He was adorable. Now, on this day I thought Donald might not be very happy with me, because I was wearing Minnie Mouse ears and like I didn't really have anything Donald related. I mean, he was on my top and he was on my lanyard on my bag. And when I showed him my bag and like my jumper and everything, he was so happy. And to the point where like whenever he walked past our table again, he'd always like give me a little hug in my chair, or he'd like kiss me. Like, it was just really cute. And I was like, because this was the last day, like we were leaving the parks that evening, and I thought, you know what, I am going to tell one of the characters that we met that it's our last day. And I told Donald that we were leaving, and he got very upset, which was really cute. And then like I showed him my bag, and we had like a photo shoot with it, which was adorable. But before we left, he came back to our table and I asked him what his plans for Valentine's were for Daisy, and he sort of reacted like he'd forgotten, and I was like, Donald, you can't forget Valentine's Day. And I gave him the idea of buying Daisy Duck some daisies, and the cast member with him was like, that is such a good idea, and he was basically thanking me for the idea. And then, like, as soon as we got up to leave, Donald came back over and said goodbye to us, and that was like one of the cutest little moments ever, because I think they were all going on a break as we were leaving, and it was so sweet, and honestly the best interaction ever. And of course I am going to include my photos with Donald because he is my all-time favourite Disney character, so here they are. So also in at number 3, we have another meet and greet from Newport Bay. Now this meet literally happened, I want to say it happened, well yeah, it happened on the day we stayed at Newport Bay, obviously, and because we didn't have park tickets, we were like, let's just go and queue up and meet the character at the hotel because we were staying there. And the hotel meets, you do not know who you are going to get. Like with Newport Bay, I knew it could be any of Mickey and Friends, and one of the characters I had wanted to meet was obviously Daisy, who I did meet, but I have the Newport Bay Mickey plush with him in the outfit that he wears to meet people in that hotel. And because I had that plush at home, I was thinking it would be amazing to meet Mickey in his outfit. And literally as it got to 7:30, the character came out and it was Mickey. So the first character we met on this trip was none other than the original Disney character himself, Mickey Mouse. And I was just like, oh my god. And because I had like a proper cruise outfit on, because I am going on a Disney cruise again, and Mickey absolutely loved the fact that I was in like a cruise outfit. He was loving it, and then I told him that I would be joining him on the fantasy in the summer, and he got really excited. I showed him my Disney tattoo. I got so many photos with him, and again I got like a big kiss on the cheek, I got a huge hug, and it was just so magical. And I just left feeling so happy, and that was like even before we had park tickets. So I had felt like a child again because I hadn't seen Mickey in over a year, and I was like, I'm so excited to see him. And the fact that he was my first character meet of this trip, like, it just summed it up for me, and it was so magical. And yes, of course, I am going to include the photos here, so I hope you enjoy them. Okay, so this is one of a big moment for me. So in at number 2, we have a meet and greet that ever since I saw it was a thing, and I saw it on the Disneyland Paris app before our trip, I was like, if there is any characters I need to meet, especially on this day, because my outfit was themed to the characters that were on the top of my list. And of course, it was my boys, Chip and Dale. But not only was it Chip and Dale, who are the most fun characters you will ever meet in the Disney park or anything to do with Disney, but it was Chip and Dale dressed as cowboys. I lost my mind when I saw this was a thing. I had seen so many people do this meet and greet. I had asked so many people what time and where, and this was literally just after we met Goofy. But I saw on the app that they started meeting from 11:45, so we met up with everyone else, went on Pirates, and then after Pirates I just said to Jade, let's go find them. And we found them. And because my outfit was just all Chip and Dale, I had my Dale shoulder plush, I had my bag which had them on as well. And honestly, if you guys have seen the clip that we got filmed, well, Jade filmed, which was about like 2.5 minutes long, we got so long with them. So long, in fact, that they had to go on a little break after meeting us, and it was just the most perfect meet and greet ever. And I literally left the meet and greet like, I do not know how that meet is going to be topped. Like, it was so good. And honestly, if I hadn't met the character who was at number 1, then I definitely think these would have been at number 1. But it was just the most perfect meet. Like, they were sort of a bit distracted before I like went over to them, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go over. So I did. They saw me and saw my outfit, and rather than like hugging one and then hugging the other, which I usually do if there's 2 characters, but I literally ran towards them and they both pulled me in for a hug at exactly the same time. And it was so cute. And I don't know what it is about Chip and Dale, and I'm so sorry to Chip, but I do think I sort of gravitate towards Dale. So when Chip was signing my autograph book, because I really wanted that autograph, Dale just like started dancing with me like Goofy did, and he proposed to me. Like, he like got on the floor, kissed my hand, and I was like, oh Dale, stop it. And it was just the cutest little interaction ever. And he just would not leave me alone. Like, he was just having his arm around me, hugging me, and it was so cute. And a pose I had always wanted to do with them was like cross my arms over and do like half a hand heart, and it paid off because the photo is so cute. And then, as like me and Jade wanted a group photo, I said, why don't you hug Chip and I'll hug Dale? And it worked, and it was so cute. And honestly, I left that meet and greet smiling away, and it was the best experience ever, and I will honestly never forget it. So here are the photos from such a magical meet. So we are now down to my most favourite character meet from this trip. Now, if you can't tell from the t-shirt who it is, then let me give you a bit of background info about me. So, one of my all-time favourite Disney films is also one of the most underrated, and it is a Goofy movie. And one of the characters that sometimes you can meet in a Disney park is Max Goof. And when I tell you that the main reason I booked Sequoia Lodge was because there was a very small chance, and I will emphasize this, very small chance, that it could be Max one of the days. Now, the first day we had Donald. The second day we had Minnie, and I knew then that there was a chance it would be Donald, Minnie, Goofy or Max. And because we had the character breakfast the last day, that meant on that day we had to miss the character meet at the hotel. And I was thinking, I really hope today we get Max, because if we don't and we get Goofy, then Max will be when we are at the character breakfast. And I was like, I sort of want it to be Max today. And we were second in line, so we had a very clear view of the door that the character comes out of. And I knew what Max's costume looked like for Sequoia. And as soon as I saw the hat that Max was wearing, walking literally down towards us, I was like, oh my God, no, it's Max. And I was like, I am going to meet my dream character. I was so excited. And because we were second in line, we really didn't have to wait long. And as soon as the person had gone in front of me, had met Max and they were leaving, and it was my turn, I was just like, oh my God. And I remember literally running towards Max and like giving him the biggest hug and literally saying how he was my dream character to meet, and finally I had the chance to meet him. And to this, he was like swooning, he was really happy, he was just blowing me loads of kisses, drawing love hearts and throwing them at me. And I just remember when he was signing my autograph book, I looked towards the camera as Jade was filming and just freaked out, because I was so happy, so overwhelmed. And the fact that he suggested that we did the kiss the nose pose, I was just like, this is perfection. He was a character that I always wanted to meet, and I got to meet him. So of course, Max had to be number one, and he is just everything. And the fact that I am planning a Disneyland Paris Halloween trip, because I think they make Max a permanent meet in Halloween. I could be wrong, but I guess I'll find out very soon if I'm wrong or right. And yeah, like honestly, the meet was so magical. I will never ever forget it. And the photos that the PhotoPass photographer got were so cute. And yeah, I just loved every single second. I did not want the meet and greet to end. When it did end and I had to leave, I was just so overwhelmed, so happy, and yeah, I will never forget it. So I'm now going to insert my favourite photos from that meet and greet. Enjoy! Now, that was my video of my top 10 Disneyland Paris character meets from my recent trip. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you've met a character on your trip, or any characters, let me know what your favourite characters are to meet, what some of your favourite interactions are. And yes, tune in very soon for more Disney Week content coming up. And yeah. But for now, this is Redhead Boo signing off. Bye everyone!